shots. We got whiskey. It's going down. That's how Cowboy fans do it. All the Can Maniacs out there.
How about them Cowboys?
We walk what I'm calling a Dallas Cowboys corridor. As you can tell, we are at a Cowboys home game. Yes, I understand that we are in Los Angeles, Inglewood, technically SoFi Stadium, but this is basically AT&T West. So follow me this way. We're gonna see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game?
We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here?
Yeah, baby! Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Okay, woo! We're doing it. We are doing it. We are live, and I'm a little nervous. I haven't been in the director's seat for a while. The People's Champ is not here. He is out of office on his second job. Doing his second job, because we all know this is our real job. So
yeah, exactly.
Bandwagon Boy 2 and myself, we're going to be taking everyone for a nice little mosey through a bunch of things, all Dallas Cowboys related. But before we do that, welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan Show. Way J, Bandwagon Boy 1, 2.
Yo,
how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm a week away now from a long trip halfway around the world.
So you're going to be So I'm going to go from this seat. I'm going to go from this seat to that seat, and then you're gone for a while.
Yeah.
How long? 2 months?
I'll be gone
3 months?
No, just over 2 months, but I'll be back before the draft, but I'll be on the shows just in another world.
Just triple Owen.
This time I'm going to try to go out and find as many Cowboys fan, or try to find one Dallas Cowboys fan who is actually from Thailand. So
yeah, because I feel like you'd have a good. I feel like the odds of finding somebody as a Cowboys fan that's a traveler is probably pretty high.
Oh yeah,
but a Thai Cowboys fan,
yeah,
now that would be interesting.
So that'll be my mission. But also, how about you? No one ever really asks. We don't really care behind the desk, and now that you're here, I feel like I have to.
Well, I'm a little stressed out just because there's a lot of moving parts. Adam did a pretty good job walking us through what to do. You're very knowledgeable with this too. So I'm just going to do my best to man the ship for tonight. And we're going to fucking crack a couple. Yeah. We're going to talk some Super Bowl. We're going to talk a little mock draft.
Super Bowl.
And we're just going to have a good old time.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's off season. Basically, the focus here with Cowboys Nation really... I mean, coming up, everyone's probably excited for the Super Bowl. Any sort of a fan of any team, it's still like, you know,
it's an event.
It's the event. It's the completion of the season. If you're not in it, you can still enjoy it because you either want to see someone lose or you want to see someone win
or tie,
which would be the best for
it.
Everyone.
Would actually be pretty crazy to see an overtime in the Super Bowl, and then because in the NFL you have overtime, but after the first overtime, it's just a tie. Whereas if it was in the Super Bowl or a postseason game, they got to keep running it. So that's never happened. Will it happen? The odds are saying no, but it would be interesting.
It would be interesting. I mean, look, it could happen. These are two great teams that we're going to be watching. And then we got, of course, in Cowboys news this week, a bunch of new names on the docket for the Dallas Cowboys DC. I don't know how to look at that, but we can get into that a little bit more after I say my next sentence. And then we'll be doing some mock drafts. We have a couple variations that we might try, but the goal of this whole offseason, and hopefully we accomplish it today with you, is we're looking to get that perfect A. Should it have to be perfect, or does it have to just...
Has to be an A+.
So just a ranking. PFF ranks your draft afterwards. They give individual ranks, and they give a total rank. We are trying to accomplish an A+, and it is pretty damn difficult to do.
I've done a couple times. Like, I've done a lot of mock drafts last year and then even starting this year, and it's not easy. Like, you'll do stuff, you'll do a trade, and you're like, oh, I knocked that out of the park. And then they grade your trade like a C+.
I know. And that's a tough thing. I
got 5 fucking picks for this trade. How is it not an A+?
That's right. Part of this is going to be us like drafting who we want, and this is kind of our methodology of doing some scouting in the off season because we, you know, as we said, we're Canadian fans, eh? And yeah, like just college football is not really super big up here.
We didn't grow up with it.
And we didn't grow up with it. So it's like there's so many good teams out there. I mean, we don't know where to begin. So this is a great way for us to kind of get some understanding. And that's kind of the show rundown.
And one last thing I want to say about chat. I'm going to do my best to be the People's Champ replacement. We'll get to as much chat as we can. But if I'm a little overwhelmed, you will be forgotten.
Yeah.
So how do you want to start this off there, Wade J? Do you want to start jumping into some Super Bowl predictions? Meaning, because that is going to be the biggest thing.
I mean,
it's everyone's talking about the Super Bowl. It's an event. Of course, it would be a lot better if the Dallas Cowboys were involved. But
yeah,
it's still an important thing for us. We live stream it. We will be live streaming the Super Bowl this Sunday. And again, we like to eat a bunch of food, drink a bunch of drinks. I already have my 2 days booked off work. I got my Monday booked off and my Tuesday. So we're going to get a little cray-cray.
So there's two. Obviously, you default, I want to see the Cowboys in a Super Bowl. I'd love to see them in a Super Bowl within the next 2 years, right? I think everyone could agree with that. But there's also that additional stress that comes with watching a Super Bowl when your team's in it. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be an enjoyable experience, but it would be a much more intense experience. And I want that. I do want that. We all want that. However, watching a Super Bowl is fun anyways. It's the end of a season. It's, of course, looking at a champion. I like both stories. If Mahomes wins, he's got 3 Super Bowls already in 6 years, I believe, or 7 years, or 6 playing years that he's been in the league for 7. At the beginning of like this dynasty, or some might say that they are in a dynasty. Both a fair argument.
And if you're European, might be dynasty. and then on San Fran side, it's the drought. It's the for me also. It's like, okay, we've got a 3-peat. It's potential. There's a high potential, and I wouldn't be surprised, I should say, if we see this ran back again within the next 2 years. These two teams, right? Definitely.
So it sets up a nice 3-peat, like you want to see in boxing. The boxer A wins and boxer B wins, and now it's like, okay, well, who's going to take home the final fight, basically?
What's your insides telling you, though? What's your butthole telling you? Like, who, if you had to pick?
Yeah.
Like, do you and people at work have been asking me about this because they know I'm on a podcast.
Yeah.
But they've been asking me, who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? And I keep going. It is a tough one. This is a tough choice. It's almost like, to me, like KC and the Eagles last year. Like, obviously, I don't want the Eagles to win, but I didn't want Patrick Mahomes to win. I sided with the Kansas City Chiefs because you can never go with the Eagles. And for San Fran, minus Nate Dogg, our good buddy Nate Dogg, it's like their fans are scumbags. So at least no Kansas City Chief fan is really ever. I don't know if I've ever talked to a Kansas City Chief fan, realistically.
We rolled through Kansas City.
And we had probably the best, probably the best burgers on our trip. Our road trip from Minneapolis to Dallas-Fort Worth. I think the best burgers we had, and they were $8. So Kansas City, they did it well.
I might have been a couple tally, thick cans in by that point.
Well, you were drinking 14% beers, or like a stout, 14% stout beer.
Basically a bottle of wine. Okay, so my thoughts are this. I agree, man. Like, I want to see the 3-peat. I like the competition more than like someone dominating. But I also we were on the grid. I was on the grid last night, but we, as in Cowboys fan, we're on the 8:00 spot. Had a fun little. It's a game where you answer questions about sports, and of course, Super Bowl coming up. We all gave our opinion. I did not win, but that's neither here nor there. You can go check it out to get my full thoughts.
I didn't watch it, but you won to me.
Thank you.
I actually checked to see if you were on it. They posted a clip, and I didn't see you, so then I didn't actually go check to see if you were on it, but you were.
Yeah, I was. And long rant short, what I'm getting at here is there is that discussion, and I actually agree with it, where the parody is not necessarily the best for the sport. And I believe there's a clip out on this that was just put out today. But parody is not necessarily the best for the sport, Bryson was saying. Because teams like, other people like a villain. We like a villain team. So when the Yankees were winning in baseball was at an all-time high. In the years from 2010 to 20, or like the New England years, essentially, they kind of created like a obvious best team in the NFL, right? and there was a villain. So it does help sports to have like a team rather than have like to have a team to beat.
So
right?
are
A
you
team to
saying
topple.
KC's the villain right now? Or if with
I
a
think
win,
that's what
are
they're
they?
building? If they win, if KC wins, they become the villain of the NFL.
And you got all the Taylor Swift shit. Bandwagon Bob has
Oh, yeah.
said, Bandwagon Bob in the chat said, and they have Taylor Swift. So I agree. Like, for me as a football fan, the Taylor Swift shit, like seeing her so many times. And again, the reason they do it is because the ratings want it, right?
Yeah.
So a villain, I could see if KC wins again, nobody wants to see a team there 4 times in 6 or 7 years.
No, exactly.
Nobody wants to see that. So that's kind of, I think any other team, sans an NFC East team and the Niners, I'm going against Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like if it was the Detroit Lions this weekend,
Right.
I'm cheering for Detroit. Like I would have been cheering for Detroit.
And I kind of do want to see San Fran win, not namely because of our boy Nate Dogg.
Just for Nate.
And we've been watching them, so I've grown a little for the team at least. Like I've grown a little like better understanding of their football, right? And their ability to come back after like looking like they were going to lose in both games versus Green Bay and Detroit. They were down in going into half and came back and put it on them. So the only my thought on that though is this: Kansas City has been pretty much locked down in the second half of the game. The scoring, when they're getting scored against, is mostly in the first half of the game, and then they like lock down. I think they only have like 10 points against them in the second half in these last 3 games.
Yeah, I don't think the Ravens even scored on them.
They got a field goal.
A field goal, and then against the Bills.
fourth.
The Bills didn't. I don't think the Bills scored against them.
One touchdown.
So that's
in the
10.
third. So it's like they lock you down essentially. So
and then Patrick Mahomes comes flying over the top. I'm here.
Right, and then I know 49ers they can put points on the board, but they have been slow. They're only 2 games in the playoffs. They've been getting off to a slow start. Playoffs.
Well, Nate Dogg was saying that if the Niners come out and start how they started against Green Bay and against especially the Lions, they're done.
Yeah.
KC's defense, and I know you talk a lot about Travis Kelce, you talk a lot about Patrick Mahomes. KC's defense is damn good, like you had said. They've been shutting teams out. So if they get an early lead, say even 2 to 3 scores up, you can almost write that good night.
Well, the other interesting thing about KC too is they've not I think there might have been a couple quarters, but they've scored in every quarter. So they are just going to steep. Like, you can assume by the end of the game, Casey's going to have 21 points.
Yep.
So if you,
at least,
if you are not up by 20, if you don't have 21 points by halftime, you just might not beat Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, at least, right? Like, I'm just saying they're going to score every quarter at least once.
So third year of CanFan Super Bowl live stream, watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. Year 1, it was the Los Angeles Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Year 2, it was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the hated
Eagles.
Philadelphia shit goals.
City Eagles.
And year 3, third year doing this show, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So 2 out of the 3 years, we've watched the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And last year we watched them win. So we have a little history with these KC Chiefs.
Yeah, and it's a double red extravaganza. Two red-shirted teams. Obviously, one's going to be wearing white, but I'd love to see them both wear
We're just going to have red light on the whole time.
Yeah.
We're just going to have this going the whole time.
You know what I'm just hoping for? Some exciting moments and that we have a good show and that we can celebrate with CanFan Nation out there, okay?
Couple screenshots, a lot of good food.
Screenshots, some good food. I'm going to get my mother to make some sort of, I don't know, dip, fill in the blanks, whatever we need to, like, I also forgot, we'll put the pressure on Adam to make that queso dip again.
Oh, shit, that was fire. That was damn good. Did your mom make those shortbread cookies and, like, all those, that Christmas?
You want me to see if
that Christmas platter that I was the only one that ate? What game was that?
I don't even. 24th. No, it was the week after,
it was the week before.
The week before.
It was the week before Christmas. I think we lost, and I just ate the whole time.
Yeah, that was nervous eating.
I ate 3,000 calories of shortbread cookies.
I'll find which game was it. That was.
They were damn good, man. They were damn good.
Cowboys Lions.
Cowboys, yes, that's what it was. And that was stressful.
Was it Cowboys Lions or Cowboys Bills?
It was Bills. It was Bills. Yes, because Chris was here.
Chris was here, right?
The big fella. So let's hit up chat here. We got B Unit saying, "Holla at your boy." What up, B Unit? You also got Bot G. My Super Bowl squares this year read San Fran 40 Whiners versus KC Swifties. I like that. You got B Unit saying 31-27 Chiefs win. Sorry, Nate Dogg. And then you got Kilo C going, I'm going with KC. So you kind of got a heavy KC favorite in the chat.
I think you go for KC. And I'm calling something a little bit more closer if we want to move into score prediction.
Yeah, let's do it.
People are throwing them out, and I want to make sure that I'm on the same fucking board here. I think KC wins, but it's going to be pretty damn close. I'm calling 21-20.
Wow, that is close.
And I do think that 49ers will get off to a slow start, but I don't think KC's defense. I think KC defense is going to be good enough, and they're going to hold them, make a big stop, force them to kick 2 field goals instead of kick a field goal, 2 field goals
when they have 14.
Right, exactly. Instead of getting the touchdown, so then they'll score like, I don't know, a touchdown, I guess, or a field goal in the first half, but I think they're going to score most of their points in the second, just not enough to win. And KC 21-20.
I don't really know just because Nate Dogg just showed up. Hey, yo, Nate, we don't got, we don't have any of the sound bites, but to me, the better overall team and the better team throughout the season has been San Fran, but you get that KC Chiefs team in the in the playoffs. And they're just a different beast. But my feeling's saying San Fran. I feel like San Fran finally destroys their drought and they win. I'm going to say even convincingly. I think like 34-24.
My viewer's heart is with 49ers. I want 49ers to win.
You do.
Yeah.
You're going for them.
Yeah.
I just want a good game.
Well, I'm not like, hey.
Yeah, you're not cheering. You're not cheering for anyone. I'm cheering
for big hits.
Big hits, nipple slips.
I hope someone's pants gets pulled down.
Yeah, little butt cheek. It doesn't matter. I just want to see a good game.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a blowout. I don't want to be out of the game. I don't want us being just drinking screech by the second half. That's it.
Can I make just one quick bold prediction?
Yeah, of course.
I believe that Rashee Rice will get MVP.
Okay.
I think he's going to have
that is bold.
Because I think they're going to be focusing on Kelsey. I don't think Kelsey's not going to have a good game, but still, and Rashee Rice has been turning it on. And I wouldn't be surprised he gets over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Mahomes only throws like 213, 200.
That's the kicker for a quarterback to not get, for a wide receiver to
he has to get all of his touchdowns
and basically the yards.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough. It's pretty tough. Yeah. So say they win and Patrick Mahomes only thrown 2 touchdowns,
and they both go to Rice.
Even then, it's so tricky for.
It's getting almost impossible for anyone outside of a quarterback or
a running back needs like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, or I don't even know if the defensive player can win it anymore, right? Like
they would have to have a fucking a pick 6 and another interception
and maybe a sack
and like a pick 6 that sealed the game.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be a pick 6 and it has to be like game-winning pick 6.
Well, this is what I'm thinking is how it would work out is Rashee would be around, say, 60 yards and a touchdown, and maybe he's got like a good amount of catches. Then he makes a big 40-yard touchdown.
Breaking tackles. That's the catch.
2 minutes left or something like that.
Yeah, that for a wide receiver to get the Super Bowl MVP and he's
got to run 40 yards.
It can't be a 40-yard catch. It has to be like catch it on, after 15, break 2 tackles, and then you're off to the races, right? But it'll be interesting. I mean,
that's why it's bold, baby.
Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl MVP or Brock Purdy winning the Super Bowl MVP, I feel like that just means it was a boring game. I want to see something different.
Yeah.
I want to see someone that possibly a defensive player that steps up or, even a Pacheco. Like a Pacheco, a couple hundred yards and a couple tugs. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, honestly, that's exciting to me when another player is going off. But hey, man, as long as we're here, screeched up to the teats with some grub and Nate Dogg. I mean, look, I don't know if Nate Dogg is coming into the house, but
I don't think he is.
No.
I don't think he is.
Hey,
would
man,
love to have him.
You've been winning
And
here.
this
Hey,
is the
Nate,
thing.
You've been winning here.
This is the thing. If they lose, I will tell Nate it was because he wasn't here. If the Niners lose and Nate wasn't here, it was because Nate Dogg did not step foot in the studio. So we got Bot G. Random thought: with the Cowboys not playing till next season, it's clear to me that there was 2 times of the year football season and waiting for football season. I agree. I definitely agree. And then you got Adbest all the way from Mexico, BW1, saying Linz made the dip.
Okay.
He said made the tip, but see what I did?
Oh, Freudian slip.
See. And then he says, I think we go for the tip or quesadella's platter. But you see how Ad said Linz made the tip, and instead of me reading it, I just said dip because I knew what he meant.
Yeah.
Where Ad will just read word for word. That's why he's the people's champ.
Yes, because he doesn't edit.
He doesn't edit.
He
He'll
does not
say word
edit.
for word what the person says.
And I do love that idea.
I do respect that.
I do love this idea of this quesadilla platter. I want to hear more about it, but I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm game. I'm definitely game for that.
Well, I mean, look, there's our
Enough
predictions
talk about
wrapped up.
those 2 teams.
We're gonna find out good enough on Sunday when the game. What time's the game? 3:30.
I actually have no idea. I know it's later in the day because the last 2 years we did it. Like last year when we watched the game, I got picked up at like 11 p.m.
This one starts at 3:30.
So is that earlier than
That
usual?
is earlier,
Oh,
yeah.
because it's on the West Coast.
it is
Okay,
earlier.
so last year it must have been on the East Coast. Started so 3:30, 6:30.
That's
Okay.
a good time.
That is a
really
good
nice
time. That's a little bit of day drinking, a little afternoon drinking.
Oh yeah, and then it gives us time afterwards to keep that celebration going. But look, we can move into Cowboys. What's this say?
Ad said dip, not tip. Don't get AJ excited.
It's too late.
He's already large and in charge, bro.
I'm already standing at attention.
So what do we got? What do you want to do for Cowboys news? Like just kind of go through
I mean,
defensive coordinator.
yeah, that's
Big
the
news.
The biggest thing is, I mean, I think it's been the last 2 days in a row we've got 2 different names released. One was Rex Ryan.
That was like roughly that was today.
Was that
Like,
today?
Ad DM'd us saying Rex Ryan, which in my mind that was not even a thought process in my head.
No, and
Because he's just been out of the limelight, he's been out of the coaching circles, he's been out of the discussion for so long that it wasn't even a name that you expected.
no, and the other one was a safety coordinator for
Oh, I saw
Baltimore?
that. I saw that also, and he was
I'll pull that
he
up.
was a new name also, too as well. Oh shit! So we just got a super chat. Hell yeah!
Okay.
So we got Cowboys Reg. Since the Eagles fans try to count pre-Super Bowl era championships, we can count the Dallas Texans, aka the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowls, right? Go Chiefs! Yeah. So that's a little Chiefs Lore before, and I learned this last night actually on Cowboys Chris Cowboy Up show. I was on his show last night.
I saw that.
And the Kansas City Chiefs were actually the Dallas Texans before they moved to Kansas City. And the whole Hunt family who own the Kansas City Chiefs, they all still live in Dallas.
Oh, really?
So Cowboys Chris told me. Thanks for that super chat, though. Appreciate it.
I'm just trying to find that other guy's name. Damn it. But what are your thoughts on, like, does any of the coordinator names that have been thrown at you while I'm looking for this stand out for you? Like someone who you like, or are you kind of in the same boat as me where it's like, I know these guys' names, but I'm not too familiar of like which one's better than the other.
I'm kind of the same. Like I know some names. Mike Zimmer. There's been a lot of noise. Rex Ryan, of course, he's done some stuff. And then the defense or the passing coordinator that you talked about. And then there's also like Ron Rivera, who I don't want at all. Like I just know. I'll say this. I just don't want Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't really care who else we have. I just don't want Ron Rivera.
I think, like, I mean, between Riviera and Zimmer, I like Zimmer's kind of gusto with, and
He's got that no fuck around.
no fuck around attitude. I like that, and for me that works. If it doesn't work for the Cowboys, it could be bad, or it could just be that they needed that the entire time, and it'll work itself out, and this will be good. I know that style of coaching is kind of not necessarily part of new school. It's a little bit of old school, right?
It is.
And I like that old school. I think there's a place for it. but you obviously have to always, make sure that you're not going to ruin relationships with players.
You got to find that line,
find,
and
yeah.
you need to know which player you can give the tough love and which player you can't. But I do like the polarizing aspect of what Dan Quinn is and Mike Zimmer is. They're on They're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Let's not bring in a guy who is Dan Quinn light.
Like Ron, and that's the whole Ron Rivera thing. I don't know what he's like sentiment wise or his personality wise, but for the Washington Commanders to let him go, and then the Washington Commanders to hire Dan Quinn for us to just pick up Ron Rivera, that just seems so stupid to me. Like I just don't want that at all. I honestly, any other coaching hire other than Ron Rivera, I'm okay with. I honestly am.
Yeah, and if you're doing football math on that, it's like they took our DC and made him the head coach, and we're going to take their head coach and make him our DC.
Yeah.
So it's like one's moving downward trajectory. Now, in fairness, I have no problem with taking a head coach and who was fired and then bringing him back. That's exactly what happened to Dan Quinn, right?
Yes.
Who's a head coach. He needed to reset. He did so. We all in all, I think the sentiment from Cowboys Nation about Dan Quinn is that, look, we love what he did. There was a lot of exciting moments. He did some things very, very good, but after 3 years, people just knew too well how to pick his defense apart,
how to beat him.
Yeah.
He didn't adapt well. He did like a man cover base shell, and then for whatever reason in the wild card game, he decided to go completely. He actually tried to get creative, but he did it in the weirdest, wonkiest way by just completely going against the strengths that have worked for the team. And I've talked about this and I've read some stuff about it, and Duffy was saying it, but it's like the defense disappeared in a lot of games where we played good teams. It wasn't necessarily Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott and the offense that disappeared. It was the defense never got that big stop. Okay, against Miami, yes, they held the Miami Dolphins, one of the top offenses in the league, to 22 points. But at the points of the game where they needed the stop or had the stop and then had stupid penalties, and this was my biggest problem with the defense, they kept committing the same stupid penalties over and over and over. And I just want accountability when a player that has had pass interferences or roughing the passers or offsides, fucking bench the guy for a quarter. Tell him, okay, man, like, I don't know how else to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want someone in that kind of where the Mike Zimmer's wheelhouse is. I want someone that's going to give a little bit of tough love.
Me too. And like I said, I think it can be done in a healthy way. Tough love works when you have respect, right? Because you don't it's not necessarily about personally attacking a person. It's about attacking their game. And if you have that respect, that personal respect with someone, and you understand the position that people are in, you can take a lot more from someone when you respect them.
Yeah,
right?
you'll be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He spit truth.
It still might like
Sting.
irk you and sting, and you might get in a fuck you match, but like it's not going to ruin the relationship.
And you're going to come out better.
You will.
You're going to be like, okay, yeah, you might have got into it a little bit,
Yeah.
but then you're like, okay, he had some points.
Yeah, and look, it's not part of it too. Is it's like there is the story of the player on the field who's seeing this thing in real time, and like it might be very obvious to the coach or to the booth because or to us as fans watching on the screen, but the player is also like, yeah, but the last 3 times he did X. And then he did Y, so I just...
He did ecstasy?
He did ecstasy.
He's so high on X.
What is this, euphoria? Right? But so there is that thing, like, the player might see something and be like, I was anticipating this, but okay, I see what you're doing, but you still broke protocol. And protocol is you don't make those types of moves, right? Like, in every defense's package, in every defense theory or offensive theory, everything's perfect. If you do this, then this player
will adapt.
Then this player will be open.
Yep.
But that's just not always how it actually unfolds on the field. So there is a lot of that like reaction that we want players to do. And to just add on to that is how many times have we seen in like a lot of NFL films, it happens a lot where the coach is like, "What are you doing?" And then the guy makes a pick.
Yeah, makes the play. Go kneel. Like Ed Reed intercepts the ball 8 yards deep, and the coach is saying, "Go down, go down,"
Yeah.
and then 2 seconds later, run.
So like there are moments where it's like that. The more probable thing was for you to just kneel, but
But you scored a
You
touchdown.
still scored a touchdown, so no one's going to complain. So, like, that shit happens, and you do want players to have that in them. So it is a give and take, and who knows, man? Like you mentioned, though, Ant, I don't want to just bring in a DQ2 or a DQ light. Give us something different, because that's going to really let us test this defense. Essentially, we got the same main elements.
Challenge someone.
Let's do
Get
some
someone in there, and that's going to challenge. So we got Mr. O'Shea 81 in the chat. Rex will get figured out very quickly and will not have his guys playing fast. So there's that. And it's kind of the...
I'd like him, I mean, we can't ask him to, but what's your interpretation of that? What does he mean by not playing fast?
I mean, maybe like not like kind of how you were saying, adapting. You don't have the guys adapting type thing. And the issue, there's a lot of this right now in the NFL, young versus old versus young, old school versus new school. You're seeing a lot of success with the younger coaches. So there's a lot of guys that don't necessarily want us to just get another old figure. And a lot of the guys that are in contention right now for the defensive coordinator position are older guys. Zimmer's older.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan's older. Ron Rivera's older. Joe Witt Jr. was older, and he was in the conversation. Like, there's really no young. Maybe they end up hiring someone that none of us even were thinking about.
I mean, that would be interesting. Toss me one.
Yeah,
son.
yep.
Here's the thing, though, is like, I do think, hey,
Look at that. Out of the sleeve.
Out of the sleeve?
I was keeping it cold for you. Let's get a double crack 'em. Why the fuck not?
let's do it.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, baby.
The only thing that's-
Wednesday night crack 'ems hit different.
It does. They always do. They always do. The only thing that, and Adam's gone, so he's not going to be messaging me, which I love.
Let's just dump drinks all over all his shit right now.
fucking
Let's
goes
just
up in
road
flames.
mixer, whatever this thing is. You done?
Hey, for the clicks, for the views.
We're doing it for the views.
But hiring a college guy, I know, or a younger, moving up, it's just such a, for me, who they have in the options right now. Even though I agree, like I'm not a wrong. I personally hope Zimmer wins out, but honestly, don't take my opinion for nothing.
We
Or
don't
for anything.
have much.
I don't have much.
backing on any of this.
But-
It's got like knee jerk reactions
Yeah,
type things. But
Exactly.
but I feel like our knee jerk reactions are sometimes pan out pretty well.
Their reactions, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But like a younger guy moving up, it's too much of a risk for what at least, if you can interpret what the hell Jerry Jones has been saying. I mean, it's very cryptic.
We're going all in with all in because we're all in.
But yeah, exactly. But like, it does kind of signal that they're going to go with someone with some actual NFL experience in the position of DC or head coach, even coming to DC, rather than have someone who is moving up to that position, which I think is a great move. But it's more appropriate for a Washington who's in that process of like, hey, we're definitely in a rebuild right now.
Yes.
Right? Cowboys are certainly not.
Win now, or they
Yeah.
should be. They
They're
should
not-
be.
They can't be like, in 3 years we want to have everything ironed out. It's like, well, that's just not going to work, right?
Remember
So
how
it
much we
makes
talked
sense.
about our fucking window? Like, I know every year we've said the window, they're in this window. And I feel like the Cowboys' window's kind of closing, to be honest. I really do. Unless they have a stellar draft this year, windows, and we're going to go a little analogy here, windows stay open because you have to keep it like fresh, right? You got to keep opening it. And by opening it, I mean drafting guys that help.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't do that last year. Like, unless a couple of our draft picks have substantial leaps in year 2, that is the worst draft class I can remember from the Dallas Cowboys in a long time. And I know that's going off kilter a bit, but it's like when Jerry Jones talks about being all in, it almost, to get the taste of last year's draft, they have to do something crazy this year.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Some people were saying, I'll go through the first 3 drafts, and I'll start with the third one, actually, because that's the easiest. Overshown. We just haven't seen. Very promising. Hopefully, he's going to come back out and be the linebacker that we expected him to be. Okay, that's great. It doesn't necessarily solve the linebacker issue, but it's definitely a huge improvement to that position, right? Getting a guy like Overshown out there who is going to be good on coverage, and hopefully, from what it looked like, the little games that we saw, he can plug up some holes on the run as well.
Hopefully.
Number 2, Scooney, kind of, I think, in fairness, it's stupid pick anyways at the time. But I think in fairness, the front office was like me. They didn't really have the big confidence in Ferguson. Well, Ferguson came out and proved like, no, I'm that dude.
They just Ferguson proved that second round pick of Schoon was I'm not going to say wasted because the guy's in his first year. Like he's a rookie and he blocked pretty well, but was definitely making people that question the pick seem right.
Yeah, and I'm not going to like he's the biggest question mark. It's the point of where he was drafted that makes him more of a bust. I feel
if he would have been a third or a fourth, no one would even be mad.
Or had he come in and we actually needed a tight end, who knows? We didn't get to see that, and we're not going to get to see that with Schoonmaker.
Ferguson's going like this right now. Ferguson, he's up charting. He's up charting.
He's the receiving tight end. But look, if Scooney can block and help the O-line, I mean, eventually that might pay off. It might pay off next year. Second round pick, he's going to have to do a lot good. And then you look at our first round pick, Mozzie Smith. We were talking, the argument was, well, he's a development player for next year. Okay, that's great. Did he develop at all this year? Did he even have time to develop at all this year? They didn't really play him enough, in my opinion, for him to get a good handle of the game. And there was no upward trajectory from game 1 to game 17.
You didn't see, there was nothing sticking out that you're like, okay, he's getting it.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, what does that mean? Well, it puts DI on the draft board again, or a need for free agency, because you either bring back Hankins and now you have what you had last year. Okay. Good or bad? I mean, no, it's not good, but at least you have Hankins, right?
And you have stability.
You got
a guy
stability,
that's done it.
But still, it doesn't answer that question. So it puts DI back on the board because, either you have to at least trust Mozzie Smith enough to get playing time so that we can get a really good look, and hopefully he takes that sophomore leap. But otherwise, it puts DI back on the board as a need. So,
and I don't think DI necessarily you need a bunch of them, right?
Oh,
and
yeah, sure.
If they draft DI and you don't get Hankins, the issue is if you go defensive interior with the top 3 picks, you're essentially moving on from Hankins, and you're rolling the dice with Osa, Mozzie, and the new dude you draft.
Yeah.
And it's all 3 guys. You got a third-year player, second-year player, and a rookie.
Yeah.
So, and Osa balled out the first half of the season. He was my player of the half, or the player, or standout player, and then he just kind of disappeared. Like, Osa kind of disappeared. I just want to hit this one chat here from Bot G. He said, sorry to wreck the docket. Just wanted to say that last night I went to a grocery store here in Bree, California. Bumped into another Cowboys fan, chatted a bit, and guess what? He's a Can Fan-a-maniac.
Fucking A.
Shout out to Chris in Bree, California. Feel free to chat with us, bro. So that's kind of cool.
Hey, big shout out to Chris in Bria or Bree?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was Bree or Bria.
We'll go with Bree.
I mean, Bree. I think this is
probably
might be
Bria, but
I think this is the one time that I think it might be Bria, but who knows?
Well, it's in California, and your name's Chris. I mean, there can't be too many of you, right? But big shout out. Hey, look, we are the world's podcast.
We are, yeah. Everyone loves us. No one even likes anyone else other than us.
It's what. But look, should we keep this mock draft talk going?
Yeah, I'm good. I would love. This is the thing. There's gonna be a lot of mock drafts.
Yeah,
and this is us starting. This is us dipping our toes. Getting a little crazy,
getting a little wet.
Week of the Super Bowl, and we just want to. There's no fault of doing too many mock drafts.
No,
people love it. I was watching people mock draft. I was watching some dude I have no clue who he is, sitting in a room that it looked like he masturbated in, do mock drafts, and I loved it.
Hey,
I loved every minute of it because
room.
I like to see other people's takes on certain players and other people's strategies. Even if they go completely against mine, even if someone can make me think, oh, that makes sense, it was worth watching a 6-minute video of a guy that I have no clue who he is.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's like we use PFF, but I'm sure every other platform is the same, where these rankings are going to change. They just got updated from the College Pro Bowl.
The Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl, sorry.
Yeah.
College Senior Bowl. So they've been updated from that. And we saw this last year, actually, if you remember, when we were drafting, we did, I think, 10 or 11 official drafts. And obviously, we made some really good hits. throughout those drafts, but the board changed quite a bit from draft 1 to draft 10.
I go back occasionally and look at some of our picks,
Yeah.
like some of our drafts, the guys we had no idea, and we were just strictly drafting on need and size.
Yeah.
And a lot of the dudes ended up being pretty good players.
Well, okay, so this is something that I think is important always to look at is like
It is Bria, by the way, AJ. You were right.
yeah, okay,
It's pronounced Bria.
nice. But there shouldn't be too many Chris's in Bria.
Right?
But yeah, so I lost my train of thought there.
Sorry, I cut you off. I
No,
just
it's all
wanted
right.
you. I wanted you to know you were right.
Well, anyways, if it comes back to me, it does. But either way, here we are on our mock draft. We have some options and to do some different styles of draft. But this is a way for us to kind of get to know players as well. So this is a good process for us. And this one, we're not doing any changes. This is a straight up raw turbo draft, no trades.
Fast
Or I guess we
speed,
could trade if we wanted.
7-rounder.
7 rounds.
Get it to 7-rounder over there.
7 rounds, Dallas Cowboys pick. We're starting with turbo, not changing any advanced settings.
We ain't trading up. We
But
might get a little funky, but right now it's just a straight on speed draft, really.
Straight on speed draft. And then we're going to get into some options with some fun draft kind of. There'll be some conditions or some situations. And obviously we need some of that live chat support. So let's get into it.
Wait. Before, we do need pre round 1 discussion. What
Sure.
position? You get 2 positions that you're looking for.
Okay, the 2 priority positions, they might not be sexy. In the current setup where Biadasz is coming back and Smith is coming back, right? I think I'm assuming that at this point.
You're thinking they're going to get signed.
You
they're
know,
gonna get-
until
they're
they're
gonna-
not, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I could honestly see? The Cowboys franchising Biadasz. I honestly could see them franchising him.
Well, he is. I think he's like he's in the top half.
I'd
of
say
the
he's a C.
NFL.
I'd say he's a C+ center, which
He's a
isn't
C+
bad.
Twinner, and he comes with a just under $1 million bill.
And a
So,
center, as far as franchise tags go, a center is going to be one of the lower costing franchise tags.
yeah, no, and look, I would, for me and my money, I'd rather keep Biadasz. But the 2 positions that I'm going for, in this order too, is going to be wide receiver, linebacker.
Okay.
And I see the argument for running back too. I see the argument for cornerback as well. But those are just things that, like, perhaps it's just shell shock from the season that, like, that's what's stuck in my brain. How about you?
I'm going center, wide receiver. So we
Okay.
both have wide receiver on the docket. Center, I would like to see. There's one guy. If he's there, I think he's a good pick. He probably won't be there.
Is that Powers Johnson?
Powers Johnson, yeah.
There's another guy. I forget his name. I'll remember it, but it's like San something. Or
First
other,
rounder?
or Van Prack or something like that.
First
no,
rounder?
like third or
Deeper
fourth.
in the round?
Deeper in the
Or
round,
deeper in the rounds?
but he's a big boy, and I liked from what I saw of him on the few highlights. And this is the problem. One other caveat, we talked about it before the podcast, but when we're looking at players, we're like, okay, go to YouTube, type in the player's name. It's all their highlights.
It's Draft Buzz, NFL Draft Buzz.
Yeah.
See how their size, and then right to YouTube for their musical rap video highlight.
But that's the problem is like, okay, I love every player because I'm seeing 6 minutes of their best material all season. So if anyone has any suggestions of how, like, to see, I don't know. I've also seen some, like, full game footage, which has been pretty good, where you get to see, like, all the snaps that the player was on for an entire game condensed into like 10 minutes or something. Nice, easily digestible. I guess the proper answer is we'll just start watching college football.
That would be helpful. Okay, let's get it. It's gonna get to Cowboys pretty goddamn quick. So
Yeah,
we are starting the draft. Cowboys picking at 24. We got a speed draft and we're doing 7 rounds. We're gonna try to get that A+. We are doing it on PFF. Let's get it, baby.
Boom. Okay. So already seeing some different rankings here. Troy Franklin actually, oh no, he's in the same place. But here's our top 5 options. We got Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, a cornerback. Amarius Mims, tackle from Georgia. Braylon Trice, edge from Washington. Troy Franklin, wide receiver from Oregon. And Ennis Rakestraw Jr., a cornerback from Missouri.
So it's funny that we have Mims on the board because a lot of NFL analysts have him going to the Cowboys at tackle. Where I don't think I'm see you got, and Mr. O'Shea is also saying Mims in the chat. So a lot of analysts are taking Mims, but that has to be the only way I'm taking Mims is if we don't plan on bringing Tyron Smith back. If you're bringing Tyron Smith back, he's your starter, and you have Terrence Steele.
Well, here's the other thing. Just looking at it, he was a right tackle, and he did not play him a lot of snaps. He only played like 900 snaps in his entire college career. That's very low.
That's not a lot.
Usually it's like 600, 700 in a season. But also the other thing I noticed, Anthony, from our size queen, or from my size queen perspective,
We don't do anything over 6'6".
he's 6'7".
We've kind of have written that. That's kind of a Can Fan unwritten rule
Yeah,
for offensive linemen.
it's too big.
We don't like the wingspan.
It's too big. It's too much on those joints.
And I think we have to stick to what we know.
Yeah, and I'm not excited about a tackle. Like I said, I think if you at this point you're probably not going to get that tackle. I mean, look, if Mims is in this position, I could see the Cowboys getting him, but realistically, in this perspective, we're bringing back Smith. No point to take that tackle.
You take a tackle, but I don't think with your first overall. Interesting guy is this cornerback Mitchell, because it looks like he's a ranked 19 guy. What's he got for size, AJ? I need to see this guy. What's his size here?
He's a solid 6 foot 196.
So I like that.
That's
I do
good.
like that size. What school is that? I can't really. Toledo. So not he doesn't
Toledo
play
Rockets.
against the craziest competition, but
Not the craziest competition. Has really good grading in his coverage. A really low completion rate of 43.5 against quarterbacks throwing towards him. One really interesting thing, though, is his forced incompletions. He was tied at third, and he had 17.
I like that.
He's a
He's
coverage
tight.
guy.
He's tight.
And I don't really
He's up on you.
I don't look for run stopping with cornerbacks.
You don't
'cause
need to.
You don't really need to. But he still is pretty good.
He can tackle.
Which means he can
Because
tackle.
he's got size. So AJ, I got to cut you off.
Yeah.
Packers fan here, but I enjoy you all's content with the $4.99 super chat from Pack Attack.
Hey, man, we
Appreciate it, man.
appreciate
We
that.
appreciate that. And I'm not going to say it means more coming from another fan base, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool when there's a fan base that just wiped the floor with us.
Yeah.
A Packers fan saying he likes our shit. So
It's
appreciate
like,
that, man.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah,
you
and I
know?
guarantee they are not cheering for San Fran.
No. Hey, well, I mean, here's the thing: in Super Bowl, most people are cheering against the team, right?
They're usually going against someone. So Mr. O'Shea says cannot go CB round one. AJ,
Okay.
I don't know if I like any. I feel like we could trade back and get. I feel like Are we not trading back, or do we have to pick
No,
one?
we can. Like, we're just turboing it, so we get our
Okay.
pick, and then we can make a trade back for sure. Next pick that people want to trade is Washington at 36, and then Vegas at 44. It's a big
36 is
drop.
36 too far.
Too much. Here's what I'm saying. I like this Braylon Trice. Obviously, and just really quickly, Troy Franklin, wide receiver, Oregon. We like this guy. He's got a nice big body. He can make some catches. 6'3", 187. A little bit lighter, but weight is.
I've taken dumps bigger than that, but
That's right. But weight is something you can put on,
you can.
especially once you get in that NFL program. The other thing I like to make note of is his yards per reception, 17.1 on average yards. So he is a deep ball threat. I don't really care too much about his touchdowns because, like, that should come just like if someone got 20 touchdowns, it's like, okay, that's great. But I want to see, like, where are you catching the ball and what can you do with it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I do like Franklin, but this Braylon Trice, dude, here's my theory of edge is not something that's even on my list of going out to get. However, you pair that up with a Micah Parsons. This guy is really damn good. I watched some of his footage. Again, it's highlights, but he's 6'4", 274.
Ooh, I like that.
Strong and fast.
That's a big dog right there.
And he had 53 hurries last year, 2023, and then 46 the year before.
Would I be out of pocket if I asked for an NFL draft buzz on this guy?
Absolutely not.
I need to see that. I need to see a pic of this dog, and I kind of would like to see what his 40 time is.
Yeah, it should have it.
It usually gives a rough shot on draft buzz.
Yeah, they'll they update this as the information.
Whoever's running draft buzz, you're doing a killer job. Like draft buzz is a great site for any type of
it's great.
Draft needs, man.
Especially for guys like us who are coming in and like, okay, we're really looking for that Madden stat panel to make a decision here. But yes, big boy, and he's actually a true
husky.
6'4".
He's a husky.
He's the 6th ranked DL, and so that includes
defensive interior.
Yep. And his 40's 4.7, so he's in the top 77%. That's about a B- grade there.
Okay.
And then you look at these other things really quick. His tackling is a 51%, so he does make mistakes, but his pass rush is 94, and his run defense is a solid 74.
So he's a TFL guy.
He's a TFL guy, but he's more on that pass rush. Now, here's the thought process. I would personally want to go Franklin here, first-round pick, get that solid guy. However, this guy can really help. A strong edge like this can really help take a couple points of a second off on the reaction time for the QB. Now they have to throw the ball quicker. That's going to help improve the secondary game as well, right? Because they're not going to have to stick on a guy for as long.
Right. It benefits.
It benefits. So, anyways, that's my argument here for Braylon Trice.
So I'm sold on two guys here. I'm sold on Franklin and Trice. And Mims, to me, Mims is a great pick for a tackle, but the only way we're taking Mims is if we're not re-signing Tyron Smith. And I still think Tyron Smith comes back on a similar deal to last year,
yes,
where he gets $1 million a game.
Yeah.
If he plays, he gets $1 million. If he doesn't, because he's injured, he doesn't. And then they're going to draft a tackle in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But I don't think they go tackle in the 1st. But I've been wrong about this before. So I think it's between
I'm happy with either one.
Obi Trice and Franklin.
For the
Roosevelt.
For the sexiness of it, I say you go Franklin.
Let's do Franklin. Fuck it. Let's get Franklin. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team, Troy Franklin.
Oregon Duck. Don't love the size, but I love that speed.
So next top 5 here after we've gone through.
And what are the Cowboys picking? 56?
56. So
56.
Second round, 56 pick. We got Christian Haynes, a guard from Connecticut. Cameron Kinchins, a safety from Miami. Adisa Isaac, an edge from Penn State. Kingsley Suamatea, a tackle from BYU. And Ricky Pearsall, a wide receiver from Florida.
So we can basically cross the wide receiver off.
Yes, and now just real quick, though, I did have a look at him. Pearsall is another quality wide receiver. So just keeping that in mind for future.
If we don't go Franklin,
he could be there.
There's another guy in the second. Yeah. What do we got for trades? Anything back here?
No offers.
No offers.
Nothing.
So we're picking here.
We're picking.
So I'm always a BPA guy, and they're saying the best player is a safety, which I don't like. I don't think we take a safety in the second round. I really don't.
And let's have a quick look. Unless he can flex to, and here's the thing: he had a great year in 2022, and then a pretty fell off year. And he's 6'2", 205. I agree, though.
I just don't want to fuck around with these hybrid safety linebackers anymore. You know what I mean?
And we're not looking for one.
So what do we have? So we're thinking position. We talked DI. We talked DI, wide receiver. We talked offensive line, possibly center. What do we got? Is there any centers that are kicking about?
Well, I'll move down the next 5 here. We got Xavier. I'll just skip wide receivers because
we're not taking it. Yeah, we definitely aren't taking a wide out here.
Here's an interesting one at 62. Edrin Cooper.
Ooh, I think
linebacker.
I think
A&M.
You're tickling my fancy right there.
Let me just finish these ones, but I'm feeling that same tickle. Tavondre Sweat, defensive interior from Texas. Jeremiah Trotter, another linebacker from Clemson. Kalen Bullock, safety, and then Kalen Carson, safety from Wake Forest.
AJ, that linebacker.
I think so, man. I actually took some time and looked at his highlights today. I like his speed.
Tenacity, would you say?
And he's I looked at a couple guys, so I hope that this is correct. But he plays well off the line as well as playing a spy position or just like playing in coverage, like being.
He's all around. He's an all-around guy. What's his size at? Do we got
6'3", 230?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's rangy. That guy can get going, and you can put another 10 pounds.
Could put another 10 without sacrificing that speed. Let's do it.
Let's take him. I like it.
Cooper.
Linebacker, and I just want a dog. I just want a linebacking dog.
And I think that now you think we took Edrin Cooper. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Now you pair that with Overshown and
possibly LVE, Damone Clark. Now your linebacking crew's
feeling a little better.
You actually have 4 linebackers, not one linebacker and a bunch of guys that are undersized.
That's right. Again, we got Brendan Rice here. We're gonna skip him. He's a wide receiver.
There's my guy.
Here's the boy.
There's my early pet cat.
And I agree. Trey Benson, halfback from Florida State. Spencer Rattler, quarterback from South Carolina.
Wow, he's creeped up to 3rd round. Hey,
yep.
Rattler.
Yep.
Star of QB1 on Netflix from many years ago. Yeah, you can watch his senior year in high school. They follow him. They did it, I think, 3 seasons, and they would take 3 quarterbacks all in their senior year in American high school football and follow their season. And he was one of them. I think season 3. It's actually it was a good. I actually didn't mind watching that show, to be honest.
No, that's kind of cool, especially when they have a guy who you can see made it to the NFL.
Super weird looking though.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know who else was on it? Justin Fields was on it one season.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, I think maybe season 1, but Justin Fields was in it.
So they pick well.
Yeah, they picked well. There's a couple guys that, but yeah, just
he is kind of he's got a little bit of a powder look to him.
Yeah, he's a little. There's something up with him. And I don't know. He thinks he's cooler than he is.
He's got red hair too.
Interesting. But he's made himself a 3rd round pick, so that's cool. Or at least
probably not on our list though.
So we got Mr. O'Shea in the chat. This one is easy. It's Benson all day.
I mean, I'm not even going to continue. I think
that size. We're size guys. Yeah, we're size guys, and especially at the running back position.
And I was really hot on who's the number 1 pick. Sorry,
for what running back? So you got Blake. There's a few. There's Blake Corum's up there, but I think Benson's kind of overtaking him right now. And then who is the number 1 running back? I fucking can't think of his name because I knew we wouldn't get him. Who's the top running back, chat? Who do we got?
I'm gonna pull him up right now before anyone beats us.
So you can go back.
Jonathan Brooks.
No,
I had to open it up.
Jonathan
if you
Brooks.
do it, cancels. That's what's shitty about
Benson though. His size, his speed.
Size, speed. I watched his highlights. He's got the dog in him where he like
fights.
Like you hit him and it's like, well, you got to tackle him because he's just gonna keep moving his legs. So I really like that. And we need a halfback. We need a guy who's like, okay, there's our bell cow, and we're gonna give him. Obviously, it's the modern NFL. We do need a good 1B or 2 or solid 2.
Yep.
But yeah, Benson definitely
battering ram.
We're taking him 3rd round.
Well, Trey Benson, I'm stoked. First fan draft. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
A guy that I have been high on. I like that. So we've got wide receiver, linebacker, running back. That's our 3 picks. We went Franklin, Cooper, Benson.
Let me just
interesting. I do like these picks, AJ. I really do. I think a linebacker pick and a running back pick can really change an identity on your team. It can make them gutsy. It can make your team like tough
and
hard nosed.
You think about that. We went out there for offense now. We went out there. We got our wide receiver. We got
our WR2, hopefully.
We got our WR2, hopefully. And then behind him is Cooks and Gallup. And, Gallup still has sometimes has fuel in the tank where he pops up and shows up. What a great number 4 that will be. Linebacker, which is a need. And running back, which is another need. And so, I mean, offensively, I'm kind of happy. And I think we're focusing... it makes sense to go defensive here, but look, we're going to look at what we have available at pick 124 in the 4th round. So now I don't know who was saying no. Mr. O'Shea was saying no cornerbacks. Well, let's see about now. We got Josh Newton, cornerback from TCU. Jaden Hicks, safety from Washington State. Blake Fisher, tackle from Notre Dame. Tyler Davis, DI from Clemson. And Bo Limmer, or because his name's Bo, I'm going to say it's Bo Limmer. And he's a center from Arkansas.
So those two guys at the bottom there, you got Bo Lemire, and then you also who was that?
Tyler Davis.
Tyler Davis. So that is interesting.
Those guys for needs, I guess. Let me just look at this cornerback here, Josh Newton. Unfortunately, I haven't looked at any of his footage, but guess what? I'm adding him to the list of looking at because what we want to do actually is see who's popping up in these rounds around where we are. So it's not necessarily, at this draft about knowing, but it's about in 5 drafts when we get to round 5.
We already know
these dudes. So
we're gonna know these guys.
So Josh Newton,
these cats
is a CB, could be interesting.
I know we call them all dogs, but we want to know these cats.
We want to know these cats. He's got a good size, 6 foot 190.
Fake name though.
Fake name, obviously. Josh
Newton. That's definitely you're in your 5th year of Madden.
Yeah.
5th year of Madden, what's it called? Mode. Franchise mode.
Franchising
and Josh Newton pops up.
Now it's just like now the errors start happening where you get the same image for all the
This guy's looked the exact same for the last 16 picks.
He's had a couple shitty games. He played for TCU. But he's been very consistent throughout his 3-year college career and actually had his best kind of season in 2022.
So are you thinking CB here? What about that DI?
I'm just bringing that up to look at, but I'm not thinking CB. No. Tyler Davis, DI. He has a strong rush grade of just about 70%. Or pass rush, sorry, and then his run defense though 90.8, and that's a huge need. That really turns me on.
What size is this boy? This man? This tank?
He's only 6'2", but he's 300 pounds.
Ooh, so he's got that low center of gravity.
Low center of gravity.
Okay, you could add another 15, 20.
Now, what the other thing to add on here? He's got a great run defensive grade, but his pass rush win rate is 10.7. So when he is, even though his grade overall is like a B, his win rate is
high.
Is amongst that highest percentile.
Ooh,
he's
I like
also
it.
played in mostly in the B gap, but he's had a lot of experience in A gap, some in over tackle and outside tackle. So he can be pretty versatile.
So a B gap, I believe that makes him a 3 tech.
3 tech, okay. So he's outside of the.
So kind of like
he's inside the tackle.
In between, yes, he's
outside the guard.
So you got 0, 1, 3. 0's right over the center. And then 1's in between center and guard. Yep. And then I think I'm
you're right.
spitting here.
1's between center and guard. Well, A gap is between center and guard.
And then B gap is so that's interesting for a defensive interior. So that's kind of like a 3-4. Do you need one?
In a second.
You need to crack them here. I'll preemptively.
Preemptive. Get it over here. Yeah, I mean, look, do we want that DI? He looks pretty good.
It looks juicy.
Let's look at the center. In this scenario, though, we do have Beatis, so
I think we got to go DI.
Me too.
We talked about beefing up our defense. I think we beef them up with this beefcake.
And when I look down the line as well, we got wide receiver and halfbacks, no trade options. It makes a lot of sense to get this DI. Tyler Davis from Clemson.
Welcome to the team. This makes sense to me. This like a defensive interior at this point makes sense to me. And you're going with size and you're going with a good run stopping grade. It makes sense.
We do have a trade option here, but before we get it, let's just look and see who that is. So San Fran wants to trade back only 3 picks. Okay, interesting.
That's interesting. If we could gain another, what are we in right now? The 5th round?
Round 5, yep.
So if we could trade back 3 and even pick up a 6th,
yeah,
like I'm interested in that. Because that's when you start getting your depth positions.
Especially when you look at what's next on the board, Anthony. I won't read the names, but the positions here, the next 5, linebacker, halfback, quarterback, halfback.
I think we trade back.
Let's see what San Fran wants for this.
Let's at least gain something.
I'm going to just ask for their 210 pick. They say no. How about their 213? They say no. 215. small chance, and then they.
You
have
know
a
what?
seventh
Try it
round.
with the small chance.
Well, small
Let's
with
just
a
be
very-
Let's just be
very-
crazy.
No, they're not
Fuckers.
taking that. We could throw in our 7th and get their 6th, and then at least we're
Getting a guy that has a chance to make the team.
we're only moving back 3, but we're moving up 35 from that other pick.
Give it a go.
39% chance. Let's
Oh
see
yeah,
what
they'll
they-
do
they
it.
boom.
They'll do it. They'll
Yeah.
do it.
They boosted.
I think we booshed that one.
That's fine. So we come back here, still seeing halfback, quarterback, guard.
So this is strictly this is strictly a depth. Like this is where you start drafting for depth. This is where and this is the one thing I hated last year about our picks are their work on picks. Like guys that we want to work on. No, you don't use your 1st to 3rd round to have work on picks or
No.
to be good in their 2nd year. You use your 4th to your 7th round to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm good with anything here, to be honest. If a linebacker, even again, a safety, even I think something defense.
Yeah, I agree. Let's look at this linebacker, Edefuan Olafoshio.
Great name.
Great name. Not very good on his run defense, only a 64% there, but he's a good pass grade rusher. This is
You could sprinkle him in.
6'1", 236, so he's a little bit smaller, but he's got some good size to him. Don't love him.
I don't love him.
Let's have a look at
I didn't like what you just said,
Yeah.
really.
let's have a look at Jalen Simpson, safety. Okay, terrible at the run.
Okay.
Very good coverage.
Which is, and it depends.
Not what you want in the safety.
Well, it depends what our defensive coordinator is going to do. Is our defensive coordinator now going to true linebackers where
Right.
the safeties aren't necessarily
need
going to be up there?
yeah.
So I don't.
Well, we
disagree
we're
with it.
drafting that way. Here's what I want to look at too, Anth. Here is his snaps by assignment. So he's
Okay.
played. So this year he actually had his best season graded by PFF. Okay, and he played a lot of slot. He played a lot. He played a lot more slot, and he played a lot more deep
Interesting.
and box, and he played very little corner. So does that come in and fill a need for them boys?
It could.
Because if you keep Bland out on the cornerback, he could come in and fill a slot role
If you needed to,
as
and if you don't have Jordan Lewis, so that's a sneak. That could be a good pick.
it could be a good pick.
We're thinking depth here, right?
Yeah.
We're thinking a depth pick. What's his cat's name?
That's Jalen Simpson from Auburn.
Jalen Simpson. I like it. The Auburn. Welcome to Auburn.
Then next on the list here is a Brennan Jackson edge. Very good. B+ in his pass rush grade and his run defense grade. So like he's coming out there. He's playing football, mostly an outside tackle.
A guy that could fill in for a couple departed guys that we have.
and 6'4", 264. You know what we
It's
need
good
to do?
size.
Let's just we got to get a little draft buzz here in. Okay. He's 33rd. I mean, we're in the 5th round now, right? So
If I'm going purely looks, I ain't taking him.
you ain't taking him, okay.
If I'm going pure looks, I'm not going with that guy.
Well, here we go. We have that. We do have Biada's, but look, this is a center, Hunter Norzad. Now, Hunter, here's what I like about him, man. He's played left tackle, right guard, left guard, and then finally finished his career at center where he'd performed very well. He has all B's or higher in his run grade, zone grade, and not very good in his gap grade and pass block grade. But what I like is his versatility. His size, 6'3", 315. So he's pretty much
That's a good size for a center.
center
You
guard.
don't want your center being more than 6'4".
And it will be able to come in and then, just be a replacement for the middle of the field there. So there's an option with Hunter Norzad, center from Penn State.
So GR7 Network, what up, Gus? He's wondering, any chance do you think the Cowboys make any trades? And if you do, when? Like, do you think the Cowboys in round one trade back?
I think if there's a player on their board in the first round where it's like, look, we can make a trade with a player and he dropped down enough, because 24 is pretty damn far back, really.
It is, yeah. You need someone to fall to like 18 to move up.
If that happens, I could see that happening.
It's exciting, man.
I mean,
When the Cowboys do draft or trade up in the first round, it's fucking it's like you're watching a football game.
yeah,
Like it's so exhilarating.
and that's the thing. Do I think Jerry will? I don't think that Jerry Jones would do that, but I do think that I like it.
Do you think draft picks are like your later draft picks are a little bit overvalued?
Especially if there's a guy who's like, oh,
This guy's gonna start.
Yeah.
This guy is like he fell to 18. He will start for your football team.
I would absolutely be trading from like
I would
5,
even
6, and 7.
Oh, definitely. But would you trade a third or a fourth? Because that's probably to go from 24 to 18. You're gonna have to at least trade you're gonna have to give your third, I'd say. If you're getting a guaranteed starter, or at least you think you are, I think it's worth it.
If a top 10 drops down to 15, I'm starting to make phone calls.
Well, we were talking about it last year. I was like, if Bijan gets past 15, you're fucking calling to move up to get him.
Yeah.
So, but it would be interesting to see the Cowboys do something like that. I do like the center. Back to our board. And the reason I like the center is we're talking purely at this point depth pieces.
Yep.
And this guy can fill in role. Like you could get, sure, he's playing center. He's listed as a center, but he could also be a backup guard.
And also going back to 2021, his season when he was playing guard was actually his worst year. He was his size does not speak for it, but he was actually a better right tackle in his first year in college than he was, left and right tackle. He played both actually. Than he was a left guard.
That's
in
a
2022.
tiny tackle.
Very tiny, but in a pinch, he's your center. He has the versatility of playing guard on both sides actually. And then in a pinch, someone gets injured.
You can get him out.
At least you get him in there. And you're right. Against NFL, these college numbers don't necessarily always mean anything. And he is very tiny, but it's an option. And we know that it does happen throughout the season where you're going to lose one of those guys, one of those pivotal guys.
Offensive line, your 5 starting offensive line are not going to play every game.
And to be honest, we're moving quite a bit back. He's pick 184, and we're his rank is 184, average draft of 185, and we're at pick 187.
So I'm either that or I'm going the edge.
Okay, well, you know what? I think edge is more like exciting with Biadasz. We can go draft a center next year.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, boom.
Sold.
Brennan Jackson.
Welcome to the team, Brennan.
Jackson.
Brennan.
6'4", 264. And we're just piling on defenders now.
We got to. What was our issue? Defense.
We do have a trade option. Going to peek it really quick. Too far back, 239 from our 210.
That's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But we got a QB, Joe Milton III. We got Mayan Williams, halfback from Ohio State. We got Isaiah Davis, halfback from South Dakota State. We got Jalen Green, safety for Mississippi State. And right after him, Brendan Coleman, tackle from TCU. Let's have a look.
Call me crazy. I don't mind a quarterback here.
I am not going to.
I honestly don't mind. I don't mind a quarterback here and see what he can do.
Ooh, and here's what I like about Milton. He's 6'5", 235, so he's got the body.
He's got that Josh Allen look going.
Apparently, from his grade, though, he's not the best deep passer, but he's a B in his passing grade. I think he's got to work on a few things.
But what are we in the 6th round right now?
Yeah. Hey, he had a couple great seasons where he didn't throw any interceptions.
I'm honestly on the wagon where you should almost take a quarterback every fucking year.
Me too, and I think we're at pick 210. He's a 172. This is a great...
Take him.
Yeah.
Let him battle it out with Cooper Rush and Trey Lance.
Absolutely.
Let him battle it. Mix it in.
Or just Trey Lance.
Who
knows? Cooper Rush is going to...
This dude's going to be cheaper than any other backup quarterback right now on the team.
Hey, Joe Milton, third.
Welcome to the team.
Oh, we're right back on the board because...
Our trade.
So here we go.
Couple spicy little back-to-backers.
I want to look at these two guys. Jalen Green is a safety from Mississippi State. Basically, looks like he was injured last year. Didn't play. 6'1", 200. Don't like that. Going to have to back out of that. Brendan Coleman, tackle from TCU. Pretty subpar.
What's his size?
6'6", 320, but he had a terrible season last year.
But I do like the size, though, man.
And let me just caveat his bad season. his season in 2022 was almost an 80 rank, which is like quite high for
And then he just
PFF.
fell off a cliff.
But that's because he played left tackle solely last season, and this season where he fell off the cliff, he was playing guard. He's a left tackle, and they were
They
playing him
shifted
in
him.
guard. And
6'6" doesn't equate to good success inside.
I think
Man, this is the time you take tackle. It
Yeah,
is. I
absolutely.
like tackle at this spot.
6th round, pick 34.
And this is our freebie. This was
This
our
is
free
our
pick?
freebie.
Okay, get him in.
Well, the one before was, but it
Felt like a freebie.
felt like well, they're within 2 picks, right? So we took the QB just to make sure we got that checked off, and we're gonna take this tackle, Brandon Coleman from TCU.
B. Coleman, welcome to the team.
Big boy had performed well as a tackle. We're gonna see. Oh, here we go.
That's the draft.
I felt really good about this.
I
one.
feel
It felt
I'm
like,
thinking it's going to be a B+, but I liked it. I did
Okay.
like it.
Well, here's to note right away as we're looking at this. Troy Franklin's only a B grade in that 24 position, which sucks. Because we really like him and we both
And
agreed.
I think the reason it goes B is not the player itself. I think PFF weighs highly on Cowboys' needs.
Yeah.
And they're not seeing a wide receiver as a need.
Yeah.
That's strictly the only reason.
No, and absolutely that comes into play. I bet you if you mess around with the settings too, it'll change as well, right?
Franklin will be one of those guys that as you're going, if you could trade back a couple spots and get him, he'll get up to an A-.
And we're gonna do some of those. We're gonna
Oh,
get
shit,
we're
yeah,
gonna
we
get really funky where we're making a bunch of trades. I think there was one draft we made like 4 or 5, like, almost a trade around. So
I do like, man, we're sticking to heavily T names. We got Troy, Trey, and Tyler. And 3 of our first 4 picks are T names.
yeah. So Troy Franklin was a B. Edrin Cooper, the linebacker who we took in round 2, was also ranked a B. Then we took Trey Benson in round 3, halfback, who was an A-.
So we know that's a pick at third.
It's good.
That pick, he's a go-to. Same with Tyler.
Then Tyler Davis, DI, in the 4th round was an A-. And then we got a little bit some negatives here. Not negatives,
Dude,
but
look at Joe Milton.
Joe Milton, A+ pick round 6.
Only A+.
That was what we traded back for. So round 5, we took Brennan Jackson, the edge from Washington State.
Take note of that.
Only got a C+. Don't like that.
Didn't even get a C+.
Oh, only got a C. Sorry.
Only a C.
The
So
trade was a C+.
the trade was a C+.
Which is wild because we moved back 3 spots, but moved up 35 spots with our round 6 pick. And that got us Brennan Jackson. But right after that, we also got Joe Milton, who was an A+ QB.
Okay.
I like it. Look, that's what you're looking for.
It is.
Get a quarterback, 5th, 6th, 7th round,
Yep.
and fucking that's your spaghetti throw,
Hell yeah.
right? If it sticks, that's great. Then finally, Brendan Coleman, tackle, B-. Overall, a B+.
B+.
Grade.
I don't hate it.
I'm going to just download this before.
Well,
it's
you
too late.
download it and talk about it. I got to go take a leak.
You go take a leak. I'll hold down the fort, give you my thoughts on this. I'll even look at chat here too. And then I'm going to go for a leak. Crack him if you got him from 1503. Jose Martinez. What's up, my dude? That was our first official mock draft of the season here. Only ended up with a B+, sorry. That's better than a B. But I'm really happy with what we did. We went out there, we got our wide receiver. That's going to be, the expected number 2 in Dallas, in Troy Franklin from Oregon. Big body, can put on a little bit more weight, but he's got some nice hands and speed. Edrin Cooper, linebacker. I mean, he's tough. He seems to be, at least from his highlights, which of course are going to show all the best plays of his career, he seems to be like a dude who can cover all aspects of the linebacker position, even do some rushing, can play some spy, and also pretty good in that little short coverage area from what I saw. So I think that there's an immediate impact. And then Trey Benson, who I wasn't as rock hard as Anth was at first, but after having a look at his footage, I think that Trey Benson is he's actually, because you can get him in the 3rd round, at least on PFF, it's actually a better value and probably close enough similar production that you're going to see from Trey Benson at halfback than you would from the that top dog. What the hell's his name? Jonathan Brooks.
And the size, man. That size, man. That size is nice.
And then, I think the top 4 picks are the ones that we really just want to focus on because not to say that you're not going to be able to find a nice gem in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. But Tyler Davis here, defensive interior. Look, I throw this question out to you, Chad. If we drafted, not in order, but just in the first 4 rounds, a wide receiver, a linebacker, a halfback, and a defensive interior, and they were, the BPA in the round that they were drafted, would you be happy with that?
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to go piss.
Okay, you go take a leak. I'm going to give some thoughts on this. The draft, the funny thing with the draft is we're going to be doing this for the next, all of February, all of March, most of April. Then we're going to do our 3-day live stream extravaganza for the draft. And it's crazy because you watch NFL Network, you read all these articles, and you pretty much get these predetermined thoughts from what you keep hearing. It's almost like this echo chamber of players that you hear and hear and hear and hear. But the matter for me is I want to this year try to get my own thoughts and processes, right? Like I'll watch the Law Nations, I'll watch the Defy Talks Cowboys, I'll watch the J Tucks, and they definitely help you try to figure out guys that you want to draft. But it's fun to just find and do your own studying. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get better as a channel doing it. And after the Super Bowl, you kind of get to that first Sahara Desert of the NFL. So we're going to be doing this. We're going to be rocking a bunch of picks. We're going to be rocking a bunch of mock drafts and just having a good old time.
Did you want to hop into another one with some conditions?
Yeah, let's do it. What are the conditions? Let's lay the conditions out. Before we do that, I'm going to do one of these, though.
Ooh,
crack 'em if you got them, son.
Well, I saved that. And what we like to do is actually we save this because we keep receipts, okay? Fan, we keep receipts. I did download that just to make sure. Yeah, okay. So new mock draft. So here are some options. I'm just going to bring up my my sheet so we can all see. They're not pretty, but they make sense. What the fuck is this? Get it out of here.
I do enjoy when you when I'm watching someone do a live stream. I like seeing their computer screen when they have their notes and stuff.
Yeah, look, we're gonna make
it's diving into WayJ's brain.
We can make this pretty well. Look, this is a collection of all our brains. I just I have the time at home sometimes to pound my meat and pound this out. So, but here's some thoughts. Now, like we were kind of brainstorming ideas for mock drafts. And I thought it would be fun to kind of group some ideas that we've had, drafts that we've done in the past, like styles of drafts, but also some ideas we've talked about. So, for example, we have a no trade draft selection
which we already didn't do that.
Which we already.
It's tough, man.
It's tough not to. But this one, to make it a little different, I said, and for our knowledge of like just getting different players, we're gonna crank there's 4 settings. We're going to crank one of them to the highest.
Okay.
And that's an option. Number 2, the second option, so this is all on PFF, a must trade draft. So we have to trade, and there's a few fun reasons. For example, or a few fun ways that we do it. For example, we have the D6 trade draft, where you roll a D6 and you must trade that round.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Then there's the 3 trade draft, where you must make at least 3 trades in the draft. Then there's a player trade draft because that's an option where you have to trade a player. And then there's top 10 draft where you have to trade up to get into the top 10.
I want to do that.
You want to do that one?
I want to do that one. I want to trade into the top 10. We're going to do the draft where we have to trade into the top 10. I like that. That's exciting. The last time the Cowboys traded into the top 10, they drafted Morris Claiborne, cornerback out of LSU, who did not have a good career. He actually didn't have a terrible career. He did not have a great Cowboys career. He went on to have a couple decent seasons with I think he was the New York Jets and a couple other teams, but
he didn't have a top 10 career.
He did not have a top 10 career, unfortunately. And I was so excited. I was looking at buying his jersey. Crack me if you got him. I was looking at buying his jersey, and I'm glad I didn't, because he's looked back as he's a top 5 Dallas Cowboys draft bust by far. And to me, he's the number 1 Cowboys draft bust. A lot of guys will say Taco Charlton, but Morris Claiborne, we traded up to get him. Like, we traded away other draft picks to get him, where Taco Charlton, we picked him in the 20s and he just sucked.
Yeah.
Whereas you drafted up to pick Morris Claiborne, and the Cowboys fans were so excited. You thought he was the next Revis. You thought he was the second coming of insert cornerback name, and he just was not. He just fizzled. So
Was it like a coaching thing or a position thing, or
he got hurt. He got hurt early on in his career. He didn't have the mental fortitude to learn the NFL game, and obviously I think he relied on his natural ability his whole life, and then he got to the NFL and he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it.
Everyone was like, "Hey, we all have this natural ability."
Everybody's fast and good and strong in the NFL. You got to be that difference maker, and injuries also derailed him a bit. But I'll say this: when they traded up, me and Morvdog were texting each other like crazy,
Loving it.
Oh, we loved it. We were both talking about getting his jersey.
And that's here's the other thing. I mean, we definitely keep receipts, but it's more on people coming to hate on us. If someone says no, you got to go for this guy, and he turns out to be a bust, we're not going to go after anyone.
No.
But like, that's what this whole thing is. None of us are. If we were good at scouting, we wouldn't be sitting here. Well, we'd probably be sitting here in a bigger studio. It might look the exact same, but you know what I mean. Like,
little do people know we're actually in a warehouse right now.
yeah, exactly. Hey, make my coffee. Okay, so on this one, the only stipulation here is we have to trade to draft up to a top 10 pick.
So I think we have to go slow on this one.
Yes, we're gonna start slow as molasses, and I'm gonna pause it right away, and we're gonna try to make our trade.
Yeah,
quick.
because the good thing is, the good thing is there's a lot of quarterbacks going,
which
we don't want to. I don't think we need to even draft into the first.
It's gonna be It's gonna be Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Penix Jr.,
Drake, and Drake May or whatever.
Yeah,
his
so
name is.
those, and then so I think we're looking to trade between 7 and 10.
Okay.
And that actually helps us because you're still going to give up a lot, but you're going to give up a lot less than trying to trade into the top 5.
Absolutely. So I got it on the slowest speed here. I'm going to have my hand hovering over the pause and just call out pause whenever.
Okay. I think pause it after 3 and we'll reassess.
Okay.
Pause it after 3.
Caleb Williams goes to the Bears. Drake May to Washington.
Marvin Harrison.
Jaden Daniels. So 3 quarterbacks in a row.
So next it's got to be
Marvin
has
Harrison.
to be Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals.
Are we gonna let it roll?
I mean, we could trade up for Marvin Harrison. We could. We could trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. How wild would that be? You're talking about getting your wide receiver 2. You might get your wide receiver 1 doing that.
They're not taking it.
What did you try?
I tried everything. I tried everything.
So you tried shipping the whole farm.
Oh, they'll take 1% if we trade them 2 number 1s. It's not happening.
Yeah, we're not
with
getting
Arizona.
them. So we're gonna have a better chance at we might not even. Hey, can you trade with a team further down? So like a team at 11, and then try to trade our 11 up. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Am I inceptioning us right now?
Okay, well, we have a much better chance here. Much better chance. So I would say that now.
And then you can trade from your 11th and then get into the top 10. And so you're double trading.
So we're going Jerry Jones all-in mode?
Yeah.
Well, what about this? We have a 20% chance if we trade our first round this year and second round next year for Minnesota's 11th.
Try it. Give it a go. They're going to decline, but give it a go.
20% chance.
1 in 5 they're accepting. Oh, shit. Did it free? What the fuck?
Oh,
so it skips back.
No. Hang on. My mistake. I hit resume draft. That's fine. That's fine. They took.
Did they take Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Marvin Harrison Jr. But that's. Do we still want to try that?
I mean, see what. So, yeah, why not? Let's be crazy. We said we had to trade into the top 10. I think our best avenue is by trading to someone in the top 10 to 20. And then double downing on that pick into the top 10.
But did we want to try to get Marvin Harrison with that?
I mean, he's gone.
I know. Okay.
So what's 5th? What are they asking? I think we just wait to 7th, to be honest.
Yeah.
See,
I hit resume draft.
So you got Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. Who do we got next? We're going to see. The Chargers are on the clock. The Chargers are taking
Rome Odunze,
don't know,
another wide receiver.
See, I don't know him. This is the thing with me when the Cowboys are picking in the 20s. I don't really look at
anyone in the top 10. I know.
So, but I mean, he could have been good. We could have got a wide receiver. What are we taking? Actually, there's a good linebacker possibly that we could take if we're trading in the top 10.
Okay.
So we're gonna resume. Is this the Giants?
Giants, they do need a linebacker.
The Giants. Who are they gonna take here? The G-men.
They take tackle Joe Alt. Great name. 6 letters in 2 names.
That is great. Jolt.
Jolt. So now we're in our 7th.
Okay, let's try. Let's see what we can do. Who are we trading with here?
So we're definitely gonna. Oh, they do not. They are not looking.
They don't want to trade at
They
all.
don't want to trade at all.
No, they're not. They like their guy.
Man.
So we're gonna have to get crazy. Okay, so again, this is where we might have to trade to like 11th, or
okay, I like that. So are we gonna get a little bit of a? No, same thing.
what do you got there? 20.
20.
We'll try the 20, but don't hit resume.
Hit offer.
Offer them. Nah, they're
So
not
they didn't
taking
take
it.
We could throw in.
They ain't taking it.
It's too low.
It's too low.
So we'll resume. We got 3 pick. We gotta make a trade for the next.
We have to, or we fail the draft,
Oh, we failed the draft.
and we have to restart.
I'm fine. They got wide receiver OL DB.
Okay, let them go. Let them go.
It is nerve wracking.
It is.
So
Who'd they take?
Oh, fucking Malik Neighbors, another wide receiver.
So wide receivers are going off the boards.
LSU.
So let's see if the Falcons will trade with us. We got to trade. We have no choice. We have to trade up with these bastards.
Oh man.
It's gonna okay.
Oh.
Okay, go, don't do that. Do 3rd round And-
Second
and
or are you?
in 2025.
We could do this one.
What percent are you at there?
So in 2024, the 1st and 3rd, and next year 2nd.
And what percent do they give us?
30%.
Okay, give that a go. They might accept that. They might accept it. You hit resume again.
Oh fuck! Oh well, they took a tackle. Fuck!
So what we have to trade to this
This
now.
is it. This is it. Let's see.
Oh man.
Okay, same trade, but for the 9th,
What percent are we at?
46%.
Get it a little tricky. Yeah, let's get what do you got there? Try the 3rd round. Try the 3rd round and 3rd round. Yeah, what do they get?
No.
Okay,
They
just
ain't
give
taking
it.
that.
We got it. Our stipulation was we had to trade
We
it
had to
up in
trade.
10. So we have to
And I botched 2 of those.
You
already.
botched 2
so
of
here
them.
we go.
Okay.
Actually, on offer trade, 46% chance we're getting the 9th pick overall for our 24th and 87th pick this year. That's 1st and 2nd round, and then a 2nd round next year.
Okay, let's see.
Which will be 32nd pick.
Yeah, you bet your ass it will be. They're gonna take it. You
No!
fucks.
We got to throw in a little more sugar, man.
Go 2025 5th or 4th round.
Okay,
They're gonna take that.
that's
we have no
60% chance.
We have no choice. We have to do it.
We have to.
Sure.
Boosh, we got it.
We had to do it. Our stipulations in this draft. I guarantee our trade's probably gonna be a C.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. So, who are we looking for? CB, DI, tackle. I mean, there's a tight end that's 6th.
See, the crazy
Brock
thing here
Bowers.
is we traded up and there's not really anyone that I know.
It's all right. We can revisit this one because I
Yeah, it'll be
I
interesting.
botched it. But hey, it's more about looking at these names too, right? I don't know.
Can we
We could
can
try
we
to
trade back to the 10th now
Let's try it.
and just see what happens? Because maybe they have someone that they want.
No, they're not interested.
Okay, so we got to pick someone.
All right.
Oh, hey, there's a good idea. O'Shea has an idea here because Brock Bowers. There is a lot of hype about this guy. Brock Bowers. There's lots of hype on this dude. Trade Jake Ferguson.
And get Brock Bowers.
You get Brock Bowers, and then later on the draft, we trade Jake Ferguson.
I like it. That's wild. And this is what
It's
we're here
it's
for.
wild.
Okay, so this kid, what's so good about him?
They're just the side. They're comparing him to Kyle Pitts.
6'4", 240, that's big.
They're comparing him to Kyle Pitts' athletic ability and just his catchability. He scores touchdowns. He looks pro ready already. Like we don't have to do it. It's just an option.
No, I like it. I just want to look at these other guys just for the sake of it. We got so is quarterback come out in 1st round?
Yeah.
Okay. How about defensive interior? That's tough to swallow. 2 1st round, 2 DIs in the 1st round. Eh?
It's
Let's go with this fucking Brock Bowers.
and
tight
then
end.
so then we got to trade.
Okay,
Do we try to trade
we're gonna-
Ferguson
We're
before?
gonna we're gonna draft him, and then we're gonna go immediately try to trade just to see
See
what.
if we can trade back up into the first.
Yes.
Okay, I like it. Back to kind of where we originally drafted.
Brock
Brock
Bowers.
Bowers, welcome to
the team. What are the Cowboys doing? That's exactly what I'd be screaming. Right
Yeah,
now.
what the hell are they doing? But hey, maybe the war room has a little idea here.
So we got Jake Ferguson. Let's see who. Let's just see. I'm gonna try Minnesota just to gauge interest here. They're not into that.
But add Ferguson too, though.
Well, I put him here.
Oh, you did put him there. Okay.
Okay.
My guess is we're going to be trading into the 20s. I think we just try to trade back into the 20s with the Ferguson. Mr. O'Shea in chat is going nuts. He's saying, I'd be loving it if Dallas got Bowers. Hey, man, we went with what you were saying. We're trying to trade Ferguson here. Let's see if we can. We took Bowers in the first. Cowboys Nation would probably implode with a trade into the top 10 to take a tight end. Well, that's just kind of how we roll around here.
That's how we do it. I'm not getting any love.
So you're going to have to trade him plus picks. Like you're going to have to. So what number are you trying to trade up to right now?
Right now, 32nd pick.
Okay, go 20, go 26th with what we got rid of. You have Jake Ferguson, and then what picks you have switch with?
I have our 56 overall pick, second round, which they're not biting on
At all.
If I throw in their first next year, they're taking it.
What about second next year?
Second, we traded.
So what's that there?
So I got third. I got a 16% chance with
And give them a fifth also.
of next year.
No,
or
this year.
Okay. I'm gonna try with the lower one.
Yeah,
first.
do it. Try the lower one. Let's get back into the first round.
So we got a first round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're 26 overall for our second round pick, and fifth our 212th pick, which is a fifth.
Jerry's loving the salt right now.
Yeah. Next year is round 3 as well, and Jake Ferguson, because we've got our replacement.
We got a replacement. See you, Fergie.
Let's see what they say. Come on, Tampa Bay, please. No, they won't take it.
So we got to give him something else.
We're gonna move up just to our next highest fifth round pick at 174. And see
Don't
if we
forget,
take
we're
that.
getting 2 first round picks here.
That's right.
Offer it up.
No,
What?
they won't take that. What if
Hardball.
I
Hardball,
What
eh?
if I had next year the 6th?
Okay, do it.
I mean, we're all in, like Jerry
Yeah,
said.
at this point, we have to.
No, come on, you pieces of shit. Okay, hang on.
What about a couple Tampa Bay's picking at what?
26.
Go to like 28th and see if that team will take the same thing at 28.
Bills.
There you go. You could even probably
57.
Yeah, give it.
I mean, I'm gonna drop our. Hang on.
Fuck around with it a little bit. We got to get.
I think
this.
we give our second this year and third next year, and Jake Ferguson for the 28th.
Let's try it. Let's give it a go.
40%
40%. Bills Nation. Yeah,
Bruce, we got it.
We're back into the first round.
All right, so we're gonna let this ride then.
Let it ride.
I mean, Jerry's fucking exhausted.
And now we're picking 28th, which goes back into our original how we feel about what we should do in the first round. If you got 2 starters, though, granted, you got rid of one of our best offensive players in Jake Ferguson. But if we get another this is wild.
This is wild, and guess what? There was some fuck up in the delivery of our pick and our trade.
Yeah, we'd have to run this one back at some point.
Yeah, but this was fun. It's a fun experiment. Like we said, this is not what we think the Cowboys are going to do.
But it's fun to do.
But it's fun to do. I have these going real slow. I'm just going to
Yeah, juice it up.
juice it up. Okay, so now we're back in. We do have 2 trades. I'm just going to have a look. 36, too far back.
We need that first round pick.
We gave up too much. So here's our top 5. We got Ennis Rakestraw Jr., cornerback from Missouri, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback from Washington, Byron Murphy, the second DI from Texas, Lad McConkey, wide receiver from Georgia, and Kamari Lassatier.
I can't wait. I can't just to stir this pot. I cannot wait to post this
Yes.
pick tomorrow. What do you guys think of this Cowboys draft?
Yeah. Without context. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Here's my only thought. Are we do we trade back and then make sure that we get
A couple picks in the
a
second.
couple picks in the second?
Let's do it.
so that we can.
I mean, we're this is the wildest
Oh,
draft
now we're-
ever. Now we're trade boys.
so Washington wants to trade. Let's see what they want.
What is at 36? The Commanders wanted Tango.
Oh, they'll take that. We could get their. We could trade back our 28th for their 36th and 67th.
I didn't like
pick.
anyone at 28 right now, to be honest.
No,
so
me
let's
neither.
do it.
Me
Let's
neither.
let's see if you can get one more from them.
Or let me just throw this out to you too. No, they're not going for that. Okay, so this is our best option.
See if they'll give us like a 6th. Also, what are they at right now? What percent?
30%.
Give us one more. What's that? Nah, nothing. Okay, roll this.
Yeah.
Mr.
This
O'Shea's
is our
saying
best.
Murphy, but hey, we're going crazy. Maybe we'll get Murphy at 36.
Yeah, we're gonna try this. We're gonna see what they do. We're gonna try this offering this trade. Boom, we
They
got it.
it.
Look at that. So we moved back. We picked up another pick, and we're gonna just fast track to
Yeah,
our
fast
next
track
one.
it. I think now we just have to pick at these spots.
Oh, look, Michael Penix Jr. is still there. So we also got a tackle, Troy Fontanu from Washington.
Keon Coleman,
Keon Coleman.
a name that's been popping up.
TJ Tampa from a cornerback from Iowa State, and then Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver from Texas.
Purely, I'm thinking right now purely for the troll post tomorrow.
Yep. Michael Penix.
I'm thinking yeah, that would be good too. But Keon Coleman, I'm thinking purely troll because people are going to be pissed about this. Mr. O'Shea saying that Troy is the second best offensive tackle, which I don't hate offensive tackle here. I really don't.
He's a pure left tackle. He's played some left guard, but not a lot. 6'4", 314, 17. Sorry, a little light on the height for a tackle. But look, I'm down with Fantano or Keon Coleman. I feel like Coleman's going to be better in line with the post.
Yeah, just do it. Do Coleman.
And here's the thing about Coleman. I don't actually like any of his grades, but he's got some great physical stats. 6'4", 215.
Some guys are calling him the Quentin Johnson of this draft, which was the Chargers' first-round pick last year, who didn't do much as a rookie, but I think it'd purely be funny just for the post tomorrow. People are going to think we were smoking methamphetamines,
I love it.
which maybe we were.
Let's get him.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman.
Juice it up. So now
So
we're
we went
getting
tight end,
Tight
wide
end,
receiver.
like, gave up the farm.
Gave up the farm, and now we're back into pick 67. So that trade was really good for us, actually. Just gonna have a quick look. Too far back, the Eagles want to trade, but they're at 97. We don't have that type of time to wait.
Nothing really here positional-wise for us here, though, realistically.
No, man.
Crack them if you got them, Albin in the chat. That's how we do, baby.
So here's the thing, Ant. We got our 67th pick. Then we have our 124th pick. Trey Benson, who we have drafted, and Peyton Willis are still on the board, but they're back here in 82 and 84.
Yeah, they're back.
So we could make that trade with Philly, but it's probably going to drop us out of them. Do you see anyone on the board here?
I mean, Jalen Wright, halfback. We could take a stab. What's his
I mean,
size?
It really comes down to that. 5'11", 210.
It's not tiny.
It's not tiny.
Like, that's still a good size. 5'11", 210 still a good size.
Still good. And like I said, I always add on 10 pounds because
I don't hate it, and I think it's a position. We're sticking to the
We're sticking to offense, man. This is O draft.
This is an offensive draft right here. We're banking on our unsigned defensive coordinator to figure out the schlubs that we left to him.
And he is he did play for the Tennessee Volunteers. And they play some pretty.
They play good competition.
They play good
I
competition.
picture our defensive coordinator being like, "Can I just get one pick in the top?"
Sit back down.
Yeah. Shut up.
Okay, let's go, Jalen Wright.
Yeah, let's get him. Welcome to the team,
Welcome
Jalen
to the
Wright.
team, Jalen Wright. So now we got a long wait.
And we have to go some sort of defense here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's left. We got
Nate
4
Dogg.
picks left.
Nate Dogg. The real question about Coleman is, does Adam think he's taller than him? In regards to Ad thinking he was taller than the playmaker.
Yeah, I know.
Ad's like, the craziest thing about Michael Irvin is I was taller than him. I'm like, Ad,
You're not.
you are 100% not taller than Michael Irvin.
unless he's lost inches.
In his later life, lost some inches. So we have probably compiled one of the wildest. I would say this is probably one of the wildest Cowboys 7-round mock draft to date.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's going to be hated, and that's the.
It's going to be hated, and it's going to be so funny.
So we're back here with Josh Newton,
I can't remember what he was. Did we take Josh Newton?
cornerback. We did.
What? And if we did, what grade was he?
I don't think we did take him.
I don't think we took him. We looked at him.
We looked at him. He's got he's the guy who's got good size, 6 foot 190. His run defense, which he's a cornerback, doesn't matter, but he's got pretty good coverage in both the man and then just overall coverage. His zone's a little weak, and he's played a lot of corner and some box in his.
What do we
career,
got
too.
LB at this stage?
Ooh, good question.
Any linebackers at this stage?
Let me look specifically at linebackers.
We knocked off halfback, so I think we need to start looking at linebacker. Cedric Gray, I know, is decent.
We got JD Bertrand from.
Give me size. I'm picking pure size here.
6'1", 233.
Eh,
Cedric Gray, 6'2", 235. A little bigger.
a little better. What's his rated? What's his going rank here?
He's not a very good run stuffer. He's a better pass rush.
All right, don't like it.
More of an edge. Michael Barrett, looking good. 6 foot, 239. So he's a heavy guy, but he's not very tall.
I don't think linebackers. I don't think we're picking linebacker here.
Okay, we're back out of linebacker. Needs right now. Anything on defense, really.
Yeah, what are our top 5 here? You got
We'll skip
is that
the tight
halfback,
end.
CB, guard, safety,
Tackle
and
center.
tackle center. Fuck me.
Some names we're seeing. Bo Lemire.
Wait,
Lemire.
we did not get a good rating with him last time.
No. Honestly,
I think we go Newton.
I think it's Newton.
I think it's Newton. Josh Newton.
Just being able to settle him in, like looking at his size again, 6 foot 190. He's definitely
Texas boy,
Texas
or at least
boy.
played for TCU. So
Yeah, exactly.
staying in the Lone Star State.
And he's had a little bit of experience coming into the box, which means he's probably had playing some of that safety position at times. I'm not saying that's a need, but just versatility is something that is a positive.
Let's take him.
Let's take him.
Josh
Welcome to the
Newton,
team,
welcome
Josh
to the
Newton.
team.
You might be playing slot. You're going to have to get used to it, my dude.
You're going to have a call from Jerry pretty goddamn soon. So we still got 3 picks. And this, I think we have to go all
D. I mean,
all D.
unless there's a standout.
Unless we get that Milton Jr. again. And there he
Yeah.
is.
Shit, man. And Jordan Travis.
I honestly feel like we have to take Milton just to up our grade.
I think so, too.
And again, it'll be funny. It'll be funny in the post.
Or and even just looking halfback, we're not going to get. Who's the Schrader? Did we pick up a halfback?
Yeah, we did. We
Okay.
took in the 3rd. So we got Gus saying defense, 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 and he's right. But for the pure troll post for tomorrow,
Milton.
I think Milton's the pick.
Welcome to the team for the second
for the
time.
second time, our only 2-timer so far.
And
So-
this is 5th round, 37th pick, which I wouldn't be mad if Milton was there and the Cowboys did take him
Let's get
in
him.
the 5th round.
Let's be wild.
You've been boosted, Milton.
You've been boosted. And now we're waiting again. We're deep here. We're deep here.
So 2 more picks at 212 and 245.
Get a couple schlubs that probably won't make the team.
Just fucking let's have a look.
And all offense. All offense. Man.
I mean, let's go to the near Darius
I-
Muasao.
We got to take him. UCLA boy.
He's not terrible in his stats anyways. He's played a lot of box, mostly box throughout his whole career, but he's played a little bit of slot too. So looks like he's got some coverage ability, but really 6'1", 230. I mean, that's just an average size on the lower end of average. But look, we're looking to bring in someone who might show us something.
Yeah.
And Darius,
He's it.
you're it.
Welcome to
Linebacker,
the team.
UCLA.
I can't wait to title this best draft. I'm keeping receipts.
Yeah. Also, like
This is our last pick.
leaked Jerry Jones mock draft.
Yeah, leaked draft.
Then finally here, last pick.
Just throw a dart at the board.
throw a dart at the board. I'm just gonna scroll through. We got linebacker Tim Smith, DI. Let's see what he is. 6'4", 302, defensive end, interior.
worst name in the draft.
Worst name in the draft. He's got some versatility, though, in the A and B gap. I mean,
It's not going to hurt.
you know what? It's going to come down to his look on draft.
Yeah, let's
list.
get a look. We didn't take a look at anyone, to be honest.
We didn't, and you know what? Why? Because bandwagon boy number 1 is really big on making. Oh, now here we go. We got another T. Smith.
Yeah, we got. Yeah,
He's got the T. Smith. He's got the Tyler Smith look to him with that
he does.
short hair, nice little chubby face on him.
I think we got to take him.
We're taking him just around.
Welcome
just
to the team,
just to
Tim
add-
Smith.
just
Just
to
to add
add-
confusion.
add more.
You can never.
confusion.
And T. Smiths have been good for the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry likes it.
What do you think? C plus?
Not good.
Okay. Our trade is a D.
So our first, but look, I will take the blunt of that because we had a chance that potentially we could have moved up to 4 and got Marvin Harrison Jr.
Which probably would have leveled it out.
would have leveled out as well. Also would have screwed our. It would have changed everything.
Yeah.
But instead, we make this trade to move up to 9 to get Brock Bowers with without context.
Which is
you're like,
wild.
what did you do, Cowboys? Then next, we also traded back into the first round,
Which
so we
I
could
like
get
that.
20th pick.
What if they didn't grade that one? There was too much shit going on that they didn't give us a grade.
I think once you add a player,
Oh, it fucks it
then
up.
it fucks it up. Yeah, which actually is interesting because I don't know that the player actually adds too much value given that. But anyways, then we also
I mean, we're doing better and later in the draft here.
we did much better later on, which is where our skills kick in
That's where we find our guys.
when we're looking at height, when we're looking at weight,
We were getting the metrics out.
when we're looking at draft buzz. Made another trade to get 2 picks for that 28th pick, dropping back just eight picks. And then for our final kind of run here, and I'm trying not to expose our final grade.
AJ, Josh Newton, that's an interesting one for
Josh Newton.
for 124. Josh Newton was an A minus. That's an interesting note to keep down. That's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
Josh Newton 124 A minus.
because honestly, I don't mind the look of the guy.
No, and that's a good
And
grade
that far back, we got him in the 4th round.
at 124. Okay, so that's a good little. If anything came from this draft,
Yep.
just little info on that.
And also just looking at Keon Coleman. I mean, I'm gonna have to go look at this guy's footage. But I'll put him on my.
On draft NFL Draft Buzz, they have him. They have Keon Coleman ahead of Franklin and Brian Thomas Jr.
Really?
Yeah, he's the highest rated wide receiver on NFL Draft Buzz.
Okay. Well, shit. I mean, maybe we got a steal there at round 2, number 36. Super heavy offense because round 3, pick 67, we took Jalen Wright, halfback. He got a B+ ranking.
Not bad.
And now we start getting a little bit better here. We got our cornerback at 124, as we said, Josh Newton, A-.
I like that.
Quarterback, Joe Milton III, who's a B- in round 5.
Had to take him.
Had to take him, though. Darius Muasau from UCLA, linebacker, B+.
Solid B+. I'll take it.
And then our round 7 pick, Tim Smith, B+, defensive interior. I just have a feeling
I think
that
we're flirting with a B here, AJ.
we'll flirt with a B, but the D irks me. Let's have a look. It's a B.
It's a B.
It's a B. So, hey, even with
Us fucking around.
even with the fuck around in the beginning, which obviously, I mean,
I think our trade is better but it was fun. That's all that matters is we had fun.
all that matters is that have fun. Honestly, though, there is absolutely no way that a tight end is going to be picked in round 1
By the Cowboys.
and if he is, it's because he fell back to 24. They're not trading 4 picks to move up to get him. So
Definitely not. Well, that was fun, hey? Like, that was good. That was a good time. We're going to be doing a ton more mock drafts. We're going to be live for the Super Bowl. I don't know, probably go live 30 minutes before kickoff. I think 30 minutes
30
before.
minutes is good.
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
3 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern time. We will be live streaming the watch party, whatever the hell you want to call it, for the Super Bowl, the last game of the NFL season. AJ wants the San Francisco 49ers to win. I want the Kansas City Chiefs to win. At the end of the day, we just want to drink some screech and eat some good food.
It's all about drinking.
It's all about drinking. All right, thanks for anyone that stopped by, and we'll be booshin' this Sunday. Crack 'em if you got 'em. I don't know how to get out of it.